welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm sitting here with one of my new bestest friends ever.
Best friend ever.
This is Rosali. She is on mostly just Facebook, right?
Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of just that.
You do makeup on Facebook. She did my makeup for today.
Yes.
This is my first time ever I've never gotten my makeup done before.
Okay, you said you hadn't gotten your makeup done, and you also said something else.
Oh, I've never had wing.
Never had a wing.
This is my
never
first
had
wing.
Makeup done.
This is my first eyebrow.
She never had no brow. I feel bad.
No, my brows are.
They actually were really. We did her makeup in 10 minutes. Kid you not, this isn't even what we're gonna do. We're gonna make her look like Beyonce.
You were gonna need some hope and prayer if you were gonna add
I got some
Beyonce level in there. You're gonna need a magic
Jay-Z's
wand.
gonna be like, where my boo at? I'll be like, she's doing me a reading.
Listen, he can be my sugar daddy. He got money.
That's what we're here to talk to you with about.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited to be here. I'm super. I don't know. I'm just instantly. I was like, yes. Okay, I'll meet her. Yeah, let's make some content. So I'm super happy to be here. And I was on earlier. If you guys probably.
Look, she's talking with my ring now. She's like, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Tomorrow, Elena's gonna wear the ring. So I feel like whoever you do the reading needs to wear the ring. It's the ring of readings.
I don't know anything about you. I don't want to be tainted by anything. I don't look people up. I don't anything like that. I like everything to be organic and as what is the word? I don't want to say truthful because obviously it's
genuine.
Genuine, yeah. I don't want people to think oh, they knew this ahead of time.
It feels natural.
Yeah, I don't know shit about you at all.
We kept talking yesterday. She's like, shh.
Yeah, I was like, don't tell me nothing.
So then we just started talking about her, and I was down. I was like, tell me more. I want to know more. She's like, let me tell you about the time I pooped on a bus, and I'm like,
I have a video of that on my YouTube. I want to do your reading for you. Yes. And I asked you off camera, everything's cool and everything's okay. So let me tell you now that I
You're like, now I'm ready.
She's ready to get this off her
chest. Okay.
Wait, how long have you been holding this in? She's like 24 hours.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so when we were talking, I started hearing all this shit about you, and you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds. What the hell? Okay, it sounds like to me. I'm hitting stuff here.
Last night in the bed.
Yeah. It sounds like to me when I'm picking up so much about you, you got a lot of shit fucking going on. I'll just tell you that right now. It sounds like so many people are trying to tell me things at one time and I can't get it. And I don't know anything about what's going on, so I'm just going to be super, super, super blunt. And if I have to take it out, I have to take it out. I heard fights. I heard suing. I heard cops. I hear sirens. I literally feel like there's physical fights. I don't know if it's you starting it or not. You people that don't like you specifically, it feels like one person. I will say that they are female more than likely. I don't think that this person likes a lot of people, and I think a lot of people dislike this. Don't start to cry already. Don't start to cry already.
Friend.
Yeah, don't.
I'm happy to hear it.
Don't get your lashes off.
The lashes are coming off.
It feels like this person is not very well liked. Okay, I don't want to talk bad about someone that I don't know because I'm just not gonna do it. But it just feels like this person just has it out for you, and I hate to put it as blunt like this, but I get that feeling from them. The intention is, I'm not gonna stop until this bitch is dead. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like this person has not just deep hatred for you, but contempt. And contempt is, I don't even know how to describe contempt, but contempt is just utter disgust. And I feel like this person is going to attack you and continue to attack you and continue to attack you. And it might happen and then it'll teeter off. And then it'll happen and it'll teeter off. But then on the other hand, I don't know if this has to do with this person. I keep hearing fighting. I keep hearing attack. I keep hearing cop sirens or something like that. And I kind of picture a mob looking type scenario in my head. And I don't know how to explain it. But when I close my eyes and I'm looking at it and I'm watching it, I'm seeing little bits of a reel. And it just seems like a fucking crowd, a mob. And then I just see cops. I don't know if this person is ever going to stop. And this is how I feel about that. And then I feel like there's like lawsuits, but I kind of feel like it's either coming or it passed, but I kind of feel like another one could be on the way. Like they're trying to weasel another one in somehow. And I don't know what that's about, but this is literally when I first met you. I was standing in Jen's bathroom, and I remember we hugged, hello, I hugged you, and then I was like standing there, we were talking, and it's like, to me, it's like I get this like instant download, and it's like, and I'm like, oh shit, and it was so loud. It was so loud, and it was very hard to talk in the bathroom when I first met you.
Yeah, because you seemed like really like when you walked in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I must be so tired.
Honestly, I felt like everything that you were physically carrying, like emotionally and mentally carrying on you, it's like I picked it up. It's like it felt like a fucking weighted blanket. It felt like I feel like you a lot of times have an elephant sitting on your chest, and you try to like block it out as best as you can, but when you have those quiet moments, it creeps up on you really bad, and then it gets really, really bad for you. So you don't have to tell me at all or whatever, but that's what I picked up immediately. I mean, do you want to say anything or no? You don't have to, but
no, I'm just well, like it's good to know that what I know is to be true, because you just said everything that I know.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like, you know, when you're dealing with stuff, like a lot of people just put you off as if you're crazy, because mental health is crazy. Like not being okay is you're crazy, you know, or you're too much drama because you're not okay.
Right.
And then when you're not okay, it's like everybody wants the fun, Rosali, like the laughing, because I'm super like I would assume that I think I'm fun. I think I'm fun to be around, and I like to joke, and and then when it gets real, everybody runs, you know. And I think that's like what you just validated, that like me feeling that immense amount of evil and hatred that I feel, that's hard to deal with.
Yeah, like even right now talking to you, like my chest feels so tight, and I feel like I have like 80 pounds of pressure sitting on my chest. And a lot of times when I do these readings for people, like when I was doing your reading, I could feel how you were feeling. I could feel your anxiety that's shaking. I feel like I'm having a hard time breathing because it hurts. And I feel like that's something that you try to push away as much as you possibly can, but you can only do it for so long, and then when it creeps up on you, it creeps up bad. Ugly. And it gets bad.
And it's scary.
Yeah. Well, I think that your mind goes to those really scary, dark places and dark thoughts. It's like you get buried in that little hole. Like even now with your blanket, you might be a little bit chilly, but that's security for you.
Yeah.
It's security for you. That's comfort for you. This is your wall.
Yeah, that's true.
It's your wall.
I felt like I'm like, okay, I need a flannel and I need a blanket. Like that's what I need.
But that's part of like, I think that that's part of the stuff that you're hiding. That's safer for you. You know, that's safer for you to hide it because you don't want to expose that wound. I don't know this person, obviously. I don't know what's going on. But I kind of feel like, even if you feel like it's not happening right now, I think that it's going to come back. Unfortunately, I think that there's always ways that this person is going to try to weasel in or get back. I don't know why there's bad blood there. I kind of feel like it's like the dumbest thing in the world, and that's the only way I know how to explain it. It's like, why the hell is this happening? This is so stupid. It feels like it's like should have never happened in the first place. I don't know why, but it's just, to me, it just seems like really fucking ridiculous, and that's the only way that I can kind of explain it. So that's literally what I was inundated with as soon as I met you, and like I said, it's like an instant download, and I was like, what the fuck? And then you also do have an older female that's very prominent around you. I do kind of feel like they were to pass more recently. And recent to me, when I say that people pass, it could be anything from like a year, 6 months or whatever. But you have a female that's around you a lot. I would kind of feel like she's more of like to me, where they're standing around you would seem like a grandmother to you. Well, you know, I want to call her a grandmother, but I kind of feel like she's presenting herself to look young. And like I said, I've said this before, like when we were talking, like they can kind of present themselves to be whatever they want to be. Did your grandma pass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, okay.
Not recently, but she's passed.
Well, to me it feels recent. And I don't know why, but to me, how long ago was it?
My grandmother passed away. Probably like, it's been years. I mean,
to me it kind of feels recent.
Really?
Yeah.
She passed away in, well, I've been married, she passed away 2 years. It's probably like 7 or 8 years.
To me it feels recent.
Really?
I don't know why, but just to me it felt, well, I mean, who knows? But to me it just feels like she hasn't been there long. Her energy seems like more lower. And that kind of makes me think that she hasn't been there that long either. Her energy feels more lower to me. There is another woman that's with her. And I can't tell where she falls in line with her. But the other woman that's with her is just like super quiet. And I kind of feel like this one kind of trails around with her. And then there's another male that is with her, and he's even further off in the distance. Do you know anything between your grandmother's and his, or the relationship between her and the father?
Her father?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I really don't know anything about, like, I know some stories about my grandmother and her family, but
there's a big rift there.
Yeah,
there's a big rift there, because I can
lot.
see her, and I can tell that this is her father because she's showing me like that's, her parental figure to her, but he's like really off in the distance, and he feels very uncomfortable to move close to her. So you might want to check with your family that there's a very big rift there. Okay. Your grandmother that is around you, someone tries to talk to her. And I don't think it's you, but she's showing me that someone tries to talk to her, and she's like, I hear him, and I can't say anything back to them.
I think it's my sister. My sister had a super huge connection with my grandma, and I think sometimes when she gets sad, she like she looks for her, and she like talks to her, and like pray, like like it's like that connection, because she had such a, like, I wish I had that connection. I don't, maybe I did, but because I've always been like the stronger one in the family, that I just kind of like try to like not be as emotional when it comes to stuff. But my sister was very connected to my grandmother, and so like a lot of times when she's had situations or sadness or feelings, I feel like she does reach, because she has a lot of feelings, like good feelings for her, like that's like,
I'm kind of like staring off in the distance, and I do that a lot sometimes when I read, but like she's showing me, I can't help it. I can't tell if she's trying to show me two different things or if this is one thing, and I'm going to try to make sense of it. She's showing me like, I don't want to call it an altar, because it's not like that. Someone has pictures around somewhere, like a group of photos somewhere. And she's referencing this group of photos, and I don't know what it is. I can't tell if I'm seeing little trinkets around it or not, or if she's trying to show me in that sort of way. But there's like a collection of photos that she's like acknowledging here. It's like I don't know what to call it. Just, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, my mom, she prays the rosary every day for my grandmother and my father.
Oh, okay, okay.
So she has like it's her vanity, but instead of like makeup, she has a bunch of like little saints and like pictures.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, because
like,
I'm seeing like how I'm seeing it. Okay, so when I see things, a lot of times, sometimes I see them blurry, sometimes I see them clear, sometimes I see silhouette. So that to me is like, kind of looks like a blurry memory if I had to like show how they were showing it to me. And it just looks like I see like pictures, and then I see like little things around. So she's acknowledging that. So she definitely let your mom know that she acknowledges what your mom does every day. So that's really cool. I love that. That's so cool.
I love that too.
That's so cool. Like she's definitely wanting your mom to know, like, hey, listen, I'm seeing this. I acknowledge it. I love it. Let's go back to the person that talks to her. The person that talks to her all the time, she doesn't want her to be sad every time she talks to her. Because I think that when she talks to her, it's more like, I don't want to say it's like, why did you leave? Why do you have to go? It doesn't feel like that.
Worries.
But it's more like, she's somber every time she talks to her, and she doesn't want her to feel like that. She wants her to be happy. One of the things that I always try to tell people, and I always encourage people, like I was saying earlier, talk to them. They want that attention. They crave it. They need it. It's like, you still have that connection. You still have the relationship. Just because they're gone doesn't mean they're not your family anymore. They're still your family. You still have that relationship. You can still nurture it. It's just different now. Mm-hmm. Having that open line of communication still, they want to hear from you. They want to, you can vent to them. You can tell them you had a great day. You can tell them, oh my God, I wish that you were here to see this, but I know you're seeing it in your own way. And I always encourage people to do that. And a lot of times, when they're listening to you and they're around, they feel so bad that us down here, we suffer without them, but they want us to thrive and have a beautiful life and continue to live on. And I always tell people, and you might want to share this with your sister, right?
Yeah.
When we have kids, like if something were to happen to us, we wouldn't want our kids to crawl and be in a dark depression in a corner. We want our kids to live for us, live beyond us, live, have a
Forever.
wonderful, I want to be able to look down when I'm old and gray and see my son fucking thriving. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what they want from us. They don't want us to be stuck in that, depression mode. Let me give her a minute, because her energy is very low, like I said. Was she, more quiet in life? Mm-hmm. Okay. Her energy is very low. And I think that actually that's why I kind of feel like she was recent, because her energy is so low. It really is low.
She was like a kind, sweet,
very
quiet
gentle
woman. Yeah. Very soft-spoken,
Yeah. One more thing. Whose cooking do you guys make fun of?
My sisters.
Okay, because she's showing food, and she's showing that's everyone's joke. Does everyone poke at your sister about food?
Yeah, because she always makes really shitty food and makes her husband eat it, and we all joke about it.
Okay, so she's showing that it's...
Sorry, sister.
Sorry. But I don't know if she was maybe present for those times and was alive around then, or that might be her way of acknowledging and still saying, hey, listen, I'm here. I'm still seeing this. She's still a part of the family. It's just different now. Let's talk about, let me give her a minute, because her energy's super low. I don't know if she's going to talk too much more, but let's talk about your spirit guide for a minute. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have a female spirit guide. I did tell you earlier that your aura was yellow. Mm-hmm. I don't know what aura colors mean. I like to be blissfully unaware.
I didn't look either. I looked at Charlie's, but I was like, I don't want to know mine yet.
Yeah, I like to just be blissfully unaware, because I don't want to be tainted by knowing things and stuff like that. So yours is yellow, and yours is definitely a bright yellow, very bright yellow. Your spirit guide is a female, and your spirit guide is I would kind of say very quiet, more subdued. Our spirit guides always tend to be the opposite of us sometimes. Since you're so loud and out there and vivacious, this one's okay.
That's so crazy that you're already saying that about me, and you've literally known me for one day. I'm what is she gonna say after day 2?
Who knows?
We'll do another one. No?
So she's definitely saying to me that one, it's you take care of yourself, but you don't do a lot of mental kind of emotional taking care of yourself. She's showing me that you kind of allow yourself to be run ragged when it comes to your mental health, and you need to take more time to take care of your emotional well-being and your mental health, because it's gonna wear on you a lot worse than it already is. We were saying, that weight that you have, that you're carrying. Also, she is mentioning to me that you are definitely your own worst enemy in so many different ways. I wouldn't necessarily call you overcritical of yourself, but I would definitely say that you are your worst enemy sometimes. And I think we all kind of are in a way, but I don't know if it's like self-doubt, or because I don't think you need constant reassurance, but the way she's kind of showing me, it's like she knows she's great. I don't understand like why she doesn't feel like that all the time. Our spirit guides, a lot of times people think that they can intervene and stuff like that. And I always explain to people that spirit guides are more, to me, I kind of feel like they're more of like that little voice of consciousness that we have, like that little afterthought of, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should calm down. Maybe I should, take care of something. I do think that they have the ability to kind of like intervene in a few ways, but they're definitely just someone that's there in our corner and wants the best for us. And your spirit guide is also showing me too that like she tries to be around you as much as possible. But I kind of feel like there's someone else or in your home that she's a little bit more worried about sometimes. And I don't know what that means. She's not making sense to me about it. I don't know if you know what that's about. Okay.
My son, he's 18. He's been struggling because he's seen my struggle. Okay. And
so
it's scary.
Yeah, so she's like telling me, she's like, she goes, I worry about her, but then, there's someone else here that I'm worried about them too. So I don't know what that correlation is. I've actually never had a spirit guide tell me that they were worried about someone else before. So this is a first. But maybe she's just acknowledging your struggle and your worry, but she's telling me like, I'm worried about this one too. So again, I don't even know if whether it's her acknowledging it or she's saying that she's worried about it too, but I kind of feel like it's like a little bit of both there.
Like she's kind of a mom too.
Yeah. I mean, like they ride along with us with our victories and our struggles and every part of aspect that they're there. As far as your guide goes, I feel like you definitely have the ability to have more of a relationship with her if you wanted to. And I always tell people that when just like if you talk to someone that's passed, even if you have like a moment where you're just doing your makeup and you're quiet, or you're just sitting on the couch and there's no one around, or you're laying in your bed and it's quiet, you don't have to audibly talk out loud. You can if you want. You can whisper, you can just talk in your head, and you can just ask them to like, just be there for you. Thank you for being here for me. Please let abundance flow into my life. Help open up doors and windows for me. Make sure I make the right choices and I'm doing the right thing. Don't be afraid to talk to them, and especially like your grandmother and stuff like that, because they want to hear from you. You can ask them to send you signs. And like we were saying earlier, the time difference is different. So if you don't get a sign right away, don't feel discouraged. They have to do it in their own time. And especially like with someone like your grandmother, her energy is so low. It's going to be a lot harder for her to get out what she could. She's pushed back from me already. People don't realize the amount of energy and control it takes to come forward and to speak to me. And a lot of times when people when they're living and they're like more laid back, more quiet, more reserved, they tend to still be like that. And it is very difficult for them to come forward and to talk to me. And that interaction, I think, too, is so important with, your family that has passed and with your spirit guides and stuff. But I do really feel like you have a little bit of that little extra, like, spiritualness to you that you're able to tap into that kind of stuff if you wanted to. I don't think that you're gonna be able to pick up things like I pick up, obviously, but I think that you can feel and sense when they're around if you wanted to, because I feel like you just kind of like block it out a little bit, but if you really tried to work on it, I think that you could.
Yeah, there are times that I definitely feel like the feelings that you felt when they were there, like it's like a familiar feeling, and you're like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Kind of like when you taste food and then it's like from childhood, memory. And then you're like, wait, why do I feel that way? Like, that's weird. So yeah, I do. It's weird, and it's sometimes like it could be while you're asleep or as you're falling asleep, or like sometimes it'll be like a random thought and then a feeling, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Is there anyone else around me?
you only have her that was around you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be discouraged. Sometimes, and they could fall in the realm of a lot of things. Sometimes people that have passed, they might not agree with what I do. They're not really into it. They might be a little more old school. And especially in like Mexican culture, it's either
you believe or you don't.
You believe or you don't, and I think a lot of times too with the older generations, they don't really like to mess with this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about the church, and so you don't have anyone around you right now that I can see.
If you see anyone forward during this weekend, let me know.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know.
Now that we can talk about it, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like my career, like what do you see like as far as my career?
I definitely do feel and sense a lot of growth. I feel like you're gonna be like I don't want to say it's gonna be stagnant. I feel like you just hit a high not too long ago, and then you're gonna like cruise a little bit, and I think your highs are gonna come in spurts.
Okay.
And then you're going to cruise, and you're going to have a spurt, and you're going to cruise a little bit. And I think that that's how you're going to climb. It's going to feel like a lot, and then stagnant, a lot, stagnant. So don't feel discouraged when you have those little, we're about to take off.
Oh, wait, hold on.
We're about to fly.
Buckle your seatbelt.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Buckle it up, y'all, because we're about to... I feel like we're going to explode, honestly.
I know. The air comes on, and it gets like really loud.
Did that while you guys were talking?
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it before.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, I did it last time. And I was going to tell
Please
you guys
forgive
to
our
take
spaceship.
a break, but you guys were like...
Well, listen, it just is what it is at this point. It is. This
You're
is
getting
not
the raw.
Yeah, this is not fancy.
The raw footage.
My channel is not fancy. It's not the go-to for that.
I am. I'm thankful that you said that about my career because, and it could even just be me the reason it stays stagnant. Because sometimes I do what a lot of people do is they do a lot, and then you're like, I'm so tired. I need a break.
Drop off a little bit.
Yeah, but it's good to know that if that happens, it's because of me, not because.
Yeah, I think that honestly, at the end of the day, you have a lot of control over whether you grow or don't grow. Oh my gosh.
Getting louder.
I know, it's like there's a wind. Now there's a hurricane.
Y'all. We're gonna go to the wine cellar. We'll be right back.
But definitely, like, don't feel discouraged when you are at those points. But also, don't be afraid to take those breaks either, because and let's go back to your mental health too. You need those, and I think that you need those a lot more than you want to either admit or accept. But you definitely do need those. Don't burn yourself out. Definitely don't burn yourself out. Oh, we just landed in Aruba.
Y'all put on your bikinis. We landed in Aruba.
But definitely don't feel afraid of taking that time and having those like little check-ins with yourself, because I feel like those are really important that you're missing, that you need to start.
So you said earlier that when you saw me, you heard all these voices. Like, do you know where they were coming from? Like, you just heard everything.
I don't know. I don't know why or how I get the things I get. I think a lot of times it's a combination of things that I just feel, hear. My spirit guides are like, and I'm like, okay, one at a time. So it's just, honestly for me, it literally feels like if someone were to take a download, or what is that thing called? The little USB or something, and they go, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, and that's what it feels like a lot for some people. It just feels like, oh shit. And it's just so much. So that's kind of like what it felt like as soon as I saw you. And that's just how it happens sometimes. But it just seems like you have a lot going on with whatever that situation is. And it just feels like it gets like bad, then worse, then it gets really messy, then it gets really bad. And I want to kind of say violent, and I don't know why. Because I keep seeing that replay of it just looks like a mob, and it just seems very wild. And like I said, I don't even know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but from what I'm seeing. But it just seemed like it was a lot, and I've been dying to tell you, like dying to say something. And I was telling Dustin this morning, and he didn't tell me anything. He's like, okay. So
do you think that person will ever leave me alone? Like, honestly.
They will only leave you alone when they feel like they can't get to you anymore. And I hate to tell you that.
Oh, no.
But I think you already know that. So the more that they are bothering you and getting under your skin, the more you acknowledge it and stuff like that. I feel like the only way to get it to kind of stop a little bit more is to try to ignore it the best you can. But I kind of feel like it kind of feels impossible to ignore sometimes. So I would love to tell you, yes, they'll leave you alone, but I kind of don't feel like they will. I think it's going to last a little bit longer, unfortunately. Just ride it out the best you can. Because I kind of feel like this person is not really liked by a lot of people. So it kind of feels like when the things pick up, it's like, oh, they're at it again. You know what I mean? It just feels like it's just like, it's not a shock to people, I guess. Like, maybe it's something that's been going on for a while. So it just kind of seems like, oh, here we go again. It's coming back. I would love it if they would stop for you. Because I think that affects you a lot as well, you know? But other than that, that's pretty much like the gist of it, unless you have any other questions.
When are you going to start doing your Facebook Lives?
Soon! Very soon! Very soon.
You know what? I do have a question. I think this is a question, and it's a question that I've had because I've noticed this with a lot of content creators. You know, and it could be, you know, kind of like a relationship, like when it's new, it's exciting, you want to be there all the time, and then, but I feel like when I go live, I give a lot of who I really am, and I that's really important to me, is to really give that raw, like, me,
real you.
And we were talking with Dustin last night, and I'm like, you know, that's so important to me, to be me. And then he went in his room and watched my videos, and he's like, you are hilarious, and you are you, and I love that. And I was just laughing, and I was like, thanks, you know. And like, but I also feel like I've noticed, and not only myself, but like a lot of content creators who you know, who are them, and then like it just like almost like wears on you to give yourself to so many people at once, and like it starts to like almost like take away a little bit of who you are. And then I don't want to say that I give myself so much that it's like a shell, but sometimes you feel like there's not much more to give. Like, man, I don't know how
But that's when you have to take in those, like, remember we were saying like those like little mental health breaks and stuff like that. Don't give and give and give until you deplete yourself fully and you have nothing, and then you crawl in that little hole and you just feel like giving up, and then there's nothing left and your tank is empty and you don't know how you're going to go on, and then it affects you in your personal life, and it just trickles down and affects you. And you can give, but also give to yourself and have that time for yourself as well. And that's why it's so important for you to have that.
No, you know, I think that's so funny because one of my biggest things this year was, and I've been saying this a lot to my friends and to my family, is like, I want to be as kind to myself as I am to everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's so important for me this year. Like,
well, you have to take care of yourself. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you lay your head down on your pillow every night, that's you. It's not you and all your followers and everything. You can't be the person you want to be for your followers if you don't take care of yourself first.
True.
You know?
Next question. Is Saul cheating? You're like, let me look at my
well,
PayPal.
let me see if he PayPal me real quick.
Can you do some cards for me? I would love to
if you want
cards.
to.
Yeah.
Like, you mean is Jose cheating?
It's Jose. Jose, nobody cares.
Let's see what we got.
You're like, that was from my page.
That was my page. Stop.
Yeah, I didn't get any like little tips from him. No Cash App, no Venmo from him.
We'll see.
And
by the
you still have kept a secret. So.
He's got to be like he's got a day. Okay,
he's got one day.
He's got one day. Okay, so I literally have no rhyme or reason of why I pull cards the way that I do. Sometimes I just go through the deck and I literally just pull cards like this. Sometimes I pull them from the top.
Just what feels right.
I'll just look at, they're all the same, and I just kind of look at them and I'm like, let's go with this one. If it'll fall down, I want that one. Let me go back this way. I want you. Oh, there we go.
Well, we already saw it.
Okay, let's throw this out here. Let's see what we got here. You definitely, we were talking about the healing and the self-care that you need to practice. Definitely
do it.
You really gotta, don't just say you're gonna do it. You really need to do it. Remember how you were saying like you give and give and give so much of yourself? You're literally depleting yourself emotionally and mentally. And then that's affecting you physically as well. So don't start crying again. It's definitely like depleting yourself here too. And then also too, like the death card here, it doesn't necessarily mean death. It means like a new beginning. It means a close and an open to a chapter. Okay, so I feel like with this card, there's something that you want to put a stop to or a close to that you're not able to right now.
There's a lot of things I want to put a stop to.
Yeah, it just seems like something that you just wish that you'd be able to put a pin in it and it would stop, and you're not able to. And I definitely think this card right here, I definitely think it's affecting your mental health. So whatever it is that you want to put a stop to, it's definitely affecting your mental health. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I don't even have a time frame I can give you, but there's something here that needs to have a pin put in it big time that's affecting you mentally. I do see prosperity for you here. Now it is reversed, and the only reason I think this is a reverse is I think that you're in like a little bit of a stagnant period again, or you have one coming here, and then you'll start shooting up again. But I definitely think it's really important for you to go back to making sure that you're the best version of you that you can give, because people love you for you. So you have to take care of yourself first. I keep hearing that in my head over and over and over again. It's being beaten into my head, so I'm going to keep beating it into yours here. Also, too, remembrance. I don't think that you're ever going to be like the type of person where you get too big for your britches, or you think that you're better than people or anything like that. I think that this card is here because I think that it really represents the fact that you will never forget where you came from and what you're working towards. I feel like you come from more humble beginnings, and I don't think that you're ever going to really lose sight of that. I think that that's something that really makes you who you are. Like me, I grew up poor. Like that made me who I was.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that you're definitely going to carry with you.
It's almost
here.
like a badge of honor, like even growing up, but everything you've gone through, because you've gone through it. You're like, oh crap, I got through it.
Big time, absolutely.
Like
And then also too, like here with concealment, I think that this has to do with you concealing things from yourself to keep yourself safe. I think that you, I don't want to say you sweep it under the rug because you know that it's there, but you're just like, no, it's okay, it's not, I don't see it, it's not bothering me. But then when it creeps up on you, it gets worse and worse and worse until you go into that reclusive dark hole state and you can't hide from it anymore. So I think that that's something too that goes back to your mental health and healing and having to deal with these issues and ripping the Band-Aid off of things that you need to take care of.
I want you guys to know, we haven't had a sad moment since we got here. Like, all we've done is laugh. So the fact that you know anything about my mental health is crazy. Like, to me, like, that's insane.
It's just stuff that I just pick up and I feel. And like I'm saying, like, I can feel, like, when I do readings for people, like, when I do private readings and stuff for people, I can feel what they're feeling. Yeah. And I understand what they're going through, and I can, feel their emotions a lot. And yours feel heavy. Yours really do feel heavy. It feels like a weight that's on here. So
it's so funny because you told us about a situation where you felt somebody on something on somebody. That's how I feel every day. Like, I feel like I'm carrying like so much weight, and I feel strong. Like, I feel some days I wake up and I'm like, I could carry it, and then some days I feel like I just can't carry anything else. That's
what I'm saying. You let it eat at you and eat at you and eat at you and eat at you, and then you can't do it anymore, and then you're just like, you go into a hole. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
Charlie knows she's been on the phone with me till like 5 a.m. I'm like crying, laughing, and then crying some more, and then laughing some more. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, to me, like, we all, like, you told me things that I know I need to do, and I know that have happened, and so, like, it validates you more than anything, because these are things I already know.
Yeah. Well, they're new to me.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, Rosalie.
They're new to me.
You're a heavy bitch.
No, I'm heavier than you.
Only emotionally, mentally, I'm heavier.
That was shady. That was fucking shady.
what she gets.
I don't care. It's okay. But I appreciate you letting
That's what she gets for telling me the truth.
That's the new drama on that.
That's the new drama. Rosalie calls Vanessa heavier only physically, not emotionally.
Right.
Mentally. Hey, you know what though? I would take some physical weight because you know that emotional, mental weight.
that will weigh you down.
I would rather be a little thicker in the booty and the tummy.
Yeah, I know, girl.
No,
well, I can give you some.
I'm down.
I can
Will they
give
put
you
it in the
some.
right place though?
I wish. Just like take some slivers off and put
Honestly,
pull
I
in
feel
there.
like you're like harvesting for something. I
Take
think
one
you
off.
are.
I'm practicing to get my BBL. That's what I'm doing.
She's harvesting.
I'm harvesting for a BBL.
Not harvesting.
She's harvesting fat.
I am harvesting for a BBL.
No, I love this. I love it. I don't think it's the message that I wanted to hear, of course.
But it's what you need to hear.
Yeah, but it's definitely a message I need to hear.
Oh, Rosalie,
Absolutely.
that's so true.
Yeah, that's what you need to hear.
Isn't that crazy? Spirit it's not what you want to hear.
It's what you need to hear. But you know, a lot of times though, like when we have moments in our life where it's like, that's not what I wanted, that's not what I wanted. And then you look back 6 months, a year later, and you look back and you're like, oh shit, I'm so glad that turned out like that. That's what I needed. Like, you know, it sucked while I was going through it. And then now that you take a step back and you look back, you're like, oh, thank God that turned out the way it did. You know? So it's not necessarily what you want to hear, it's what you needed to hear.
Yeah.
And you're welcome, and I will bring that to you. But I appreciate you letting me do your reading.
I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful, and I'm, you know, when you like said that like you feel like I have like a sensitivity to stuff, like I totally do. Like I'll be sick around people that don't like me. Like I literally am like, oh my God, I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so sick. My stomach hurts. Like I literally feel like I am nauseous.
Yeah.
And then like when I'm around like good people, like I just feel like I have all the energy in the world, and it's almost like their energy heals me.
Well, it's infectious though too. Happiness and depression and anger, that's all infectious, and energy just pushes out to people, and some people can really feel it and some people are just unbothered by it, but it is very infectious. So definitely I'm not surprised if you're, you know, around those people and it's like, oh fuck, this sucks, or they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Like, oh, me too.
Yeah,
you know?
like they bring you that high excitement.
Yeah.
That's how I am when I'm around my friends. Like I feel like I'm on top of the world. Like
yeah,
nothing else, because there's so much like understanding and love and like kindness. And then like you'll be around other people, and then it's like, oh my God, like it's like working like a 50-hour shift with like carrying a backpack and like dragging a dead corpse. Like that's how it feels by the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's emotionally and mentally and physically like just wearing on you.
Yeah,
100%. So
I definitely understand.
you gotta get your shit under control.
Yeah, get your shit together. This is a mess.
Yeah, you gotta.
This is messier than my makeup room. Just joking.
Get it under control. Take care.
I
of
think
it.
so. I think the next time I see Vanessa, we'll for sure have a better reading.
Yeah.
You know what I was just thinking, that I feel like when we feel like we've fixed
She might just call me and be like, "Bitch, I know."
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I do that with some of my friends sometimes. I'll call my friend and I'll be like, what are you doing? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, bitch, don't lie to me. And they're like, how did you know? And I'm like, yeah, don't talk to that girl. And they're like, how did you know? I'm like, I just do. It's just I have a connection with people, and that's just how it happens.
Yeah.
So
Me too, because I could feel other people's sadness. Like it's weird. Like I'll randomly call people and they'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like I just felt like I needed to like call you. Like, are you okay? What's going on?" And they're like, oh, "No, I had such a hard day." And then I'm like, also like you talk about things like when you were a kid. Like when I was a kid, like I would get ideas in my head and then they would happen. It was like really weird. Like I'd be like, okay, like I'm gonna like, my dad's gonna get home and he's gonna take us out to eat, and like just like kid
you
things.
might be able to manifest
Really?
a lot.
Because they would happen, like, or like I'd be like, okay, there's like this year I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna buy a car, and I'm gonna do this.
Oh
and
yeah, that's manifesting. Then.
And then like they happen, like it always, and bad too, like bad too. Like,
Well, you can manifest negativity and positivity, and people don't realize that manifesting isn't always just manifesting something positive and pretty and awesome. You know, so you can manifest negative too. That's like inviting in negativity when you let those thoughts creep in. But you might really have a very strong manifestation ability.
I like ward off negativity. Like I like once, and I told Tilly, it's so weird because like I'll make excuses for anybody. Like I just like want to see the best in everybody because I know that like I'm not always seen. Like I think people see me differently than I am once you're like you know me. And so, like, I think, like, okay, so I'm so misunderstood. Like, other people must also be misunderstood.
Yeah.
And then I make excuses and I do things and I allow things to happen. And then bad things happen. And I'm like, oh, I knew that was coming. And I literally say, like, I tell my friends, like, I already knew, like, I already saw that happen. Like, I already felt that happen. Yeah. I was just, like, fighting against it because I was hoping and praying that, like, what I wanted to see in that person wasn't there. What I knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm taking Vanessa's job. Fuck you all. She's gonna start doing makeup. No.
Girl, listen. If I was starting to do makeup, we'd all be doomed. We'd all be doomed.
That's how I felt year one. But then I'm like, we might be doing all right.
We might be doing a little bit okay.
But no, yeah, I'm super thankful, and I'm so glad that I got an opportunity to make a new friend.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like Chelly, just like, you know, like you probably just changed her life too, like just in the way that you. Because it's like so life-changing to be validated in things that you feel like because you literally validate things that I'm like, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm imagining things, and then you say them, and
I wouldn't think of it like that. I mean, and also it's validating for me too, because like, you know, I'm like the crazy person that hears all these crazy things and sees dead people and talks to dead people. And
have you ever been scared?
No, I'm so used to it. I started seeing people dying and dead things when I remember being like maybe 6 or 7.
Do animals come around us after
we have 52 minutes? I don't know.
You can turn it off.
You guys want to end it and then
bye guys.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
No, I just want it to be like the longest like thing ever.
Probably.
I hate editing stuff.
Bye guys.
Bye. We'll see you later. Yeah, you're so welcome.
You're
welcome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all off. I feel like
Chelly ruined everything. Bye.